Hi Dan, just want to wish you a happy 40th birthday. Keep up the good work with the podcast. It's great to hear you on that and everything. Keep everything up to date with Exeter City. Have a great day and hopefully see you soon.
Hello and welcome to the Big Bang Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
And thank you to Gary Colwell for that message.
Thanks, Gary.
You were 40 at the weekend,
That's right, yes.
as Gary so eloquently put it.
That was actually a video message.
Yes, it was, yeah.
You can obviously only hear the audio for that, but that was a video. And I'd like to thank Gary for his message, but also say you can't hide those lying eyes. Because
You're suggesting he doesn't listen?
I'm suggesting that he doesn't listen. And him being given the information to record that birthday message was the first he was hearing of it. That this podcast existed. But I appreciate it anyway.
Gary, if you are
nice
listening right now, bigbangpod@gmail.com, tell us
Yeah, Ian, don't worry about
how you're
it.
enjoying the analysis. What do you think his email address is?
Gary Colwell at exetercity.co.uk.
Oh, maybe. I was thinking it was more like downwiththeenglish@gmail.com.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah. Celtic legend.
Freedom.
Yeah, freedom. All like long
Freedom.
vowels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Anyway, happy birthday to you, Dan.
Cheers.
From me and all the listeners and Gary Colwell.
Yeah, maybe some others
And
as well.
maybe some others in a
We'll
minute.
see.
So, City went to Shrewsbury last night, Proud Meadow, and it was one of those stupid Sky Thursday nighters.
What's it called?
Proud Meadow,
Proud Meadow.
isn't it?
I don't know. Because there was all stuff all around the ground that was saying crowd but spelt with a U.
Oh, well, that made more sense then.
But what's that? What's crowd with a U? I haven't
Dunno.
looked it up.
Proud Meadow. Oh, well, I thought it was... stupidly, this
You
is me
might be
reading
right.
way too much into it, thought, it used to be called Gay Meadow, the old ground, and now this is like Pride.
Well, they're like, we don't want to have gay in the name.
But we will call it Pride. Oh, you're right. I'm an
it's
idiot.
just a sponsor.
It's a sponsor.
But what is Crowd?
I don't know.
I've got it. It is a full-service digital agency
So nothing then.
that helps businesses drive sustainable growth in the new world of marketing.
Nothing. I'm really... What
in
an
other
idiot.
words, nothing, yeah.
But can you blame me in a way? Because crowd spelt like that isn't a word.
No,
Someone's name, I suppose.
maybe.
All right. Well, we were at the Crowd Meadow. Strange.
Yeah.
And City. It was on Sky. It was
Well, yeah, Thursday night. There was nobody there at the match.
No.
I mean, decent amount of Exeter fans,
Yeah.
280 or something.
something like that. Yeah.
Does no one go to watch Shrewsbury, or is it because it's on a Thursday night and it's on telly? Or a bit of both?
Probably a bit bad. They're not doing very well, are they?
Not doing very well.
Look cold.
Where is it? Sort of close to other places, is it?
It's on the Welsh border, not that far from
Liverpool.
Liverpool. An hour from Liverpool. No, it's closer to like Telford, Wolverhampton. It's like there. It's like North Midlands.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
No excuse.
It's a long way.
Get yourself along to the Crowd Meadow.
They were all up the Proud Meadow. They all got confused by my nonsense. Anyway,
Couple of changes to
couple of changes. Kramer back in. They kept referencing, didn't they? Kramer being ill and having to text Coldwell
Yeah.
middle of the night.
Yeah, he was back in. And, I mean, we already praised Jack Fitzwater for coming back in and, doing a sterling job in the last, in that home game, whoever that was against.
Yeah.
But you cannot, it doesn't matter how well you play if the person who you're trying to displace is as good as Tristan Kramer, because he's immense. And I know
Yeah.
that he's not been quite, maybe last night was a kind of real peak performance so far, peak practice.
Yeah.
Unreal. Too good for League One, I would suggest. If he played like that every game, there's absolutely no way he would be playing in League One, and I imagine he won't be next season.
Well, Brentford will welcome him back with open arms, I'd imagine, after having shown that.
He's quality.
Yeah.
You got to feel for Fitzwater because, like I said.
But I think,
How can you beat that?
but you know,
Not getting
inevitably,
back in like that, is it? You mean?
no. But over the season, you know,
Oh yeah,
Sweeney,
definitely. It's great to have him.
John
like you
Lee,
said.
and that'll be out, won't
Yeah,
they?
there's a place in the squad.
As it goes along as well, more suspensions and all that stuff.
Well, I tell you what, we don't want this to become too much of a love-in because there was plenty of kind of points to make on the game last night. But, I mean, looking at the bigger picture, it's kind of, celebrate good times come on, isn't it, at the minute for City? And for me, for my birthday. But that's over. Because we're fourth in the league, we never concede any goals.
No.
We've got the best defence in the country.
Yes.
Out of all of the 92.
Yeah.
And the best goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And the best manager.
Yeah.
So we are going to have to kind of yield to the optimism a bit here and just embrace it and sit in it.
Sit in that trough of optimism.
You're just going to have to sit there.
Yeah.
Because it was, what can you say? You just can't. It's great. And you've got to sit back and appreciate these moments when they come along because we're having a nice old time. I know things can change overnight sometimes, but if you think about, I was thinking when I was watching last night, this squad has got a lot of quality.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean and there's plenty of other things to say we'll come on to, individual performances and bits which aren't perfect. There's so much depth in it as well. And especially, we haven't had a full uninjured squad yet.
No.
There's people that are injured out of the side who haven't played any part of this recent run, who you think, but you put them back in as well.
Yeah.
Mitchell, Harper,
Yeah.
Reece Cole.
Yeah.
We've just saw a little tiny bit of Jay Bird. We don't even know anything about him, really.
Yeah.
It's the healthiest I can think of kind of the squad depth looking for years.
Yeah.
And I just think there's so many players that you look at and go like, oh yeah, he's really good. He's really good. He's really good. He's really good. This may change, but I'm just, like I said, just sitting in it for a minute.
Quite right. Well, funny game, wasn't it? So, like you said, Kramer was back in. Sonny Cox started up front.
Yeah. So McGuinness started on the bench, having literally just got back from international duty, where he scored a beauty for Northern Ireland.
And got his 100th cap.
Was that his 100th cap, was it?
I think that game was his 100th cap, wasn't it? The game he scored in.
Oh, I don't know. I know he's going for 100 caps.
I think he's now got his 100 caps.
Okay.
And he's scored.
Yeah. So he's on the bench, so is Aitchison, and then Doyle started.
Mm-hmm.
Woods and Francis, Macmillan, the usual other
crowd there.
but with Cox and Doyle.
Yeah, first 5 minutes looked like we were going for it, good lively start, and then gifted an opportunity really.
Yeah.
Bit of the ball. Ali gets his head on the ball, doesn't he? I think Ed Francis puts it forward to Doyle, who loses the ball and then wins it back straight away. And the Shrewsbury defender really dithers on it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Doyle finds himself 35 yards out, runs 10 yards towards goal. Maybe I'm getting my numbers wrong there a bit. 15 yards towards goal. And lovely finish.
Yeah.
To put us 1-0 up. That's the 8th minute, the 9th minute.
You'll do well in this league this season if you're at all clinical and playing any part of the attacking press, because so many teams, almost everybody really, is trying to play out from the back, and it's really difficult to do. We kind of, for the first time with the personnel we've got at the back, I'm confident in us doing it now.
Yeah.
But you look at Shrewsbury, you think, why are they trying to do this? You don't need to do it. It's just because it's the kind of accepted, way to do things currently. You don't do it if you haven't got the personnel. You just give us a goal.
Yeah. Yeah, which they did. Doyle took it very happily. It was an excellent finish, wasn't it?
Yeah, really nice, yeah. Bottom corner.
1-0. And then we spent about 35 minutes. I don't think it's too strong to say fully under the cosh.
Yeah. Which you'd expect to a certain extent, wouldn't you? If you're away from home and you go 1-0 up early, then that's the kind of the way the mentality usually shifts. But yeah, it was pretty hairy for a while.
Well, I was thinking about it. Macmillan made some really good saves. No, sorry, he didn't. Whitworth made some really good saves. And while it was impressive how he like quickly got up off the ground and that kind of thing, there were never any that you're like, oh, that should have been a goal.
No, they're good saves, but none of them were like kind of like ones we've seen a couple of times where you think, yeah, there's no business, and you've got no business saving that.
No.
They're all ones you should save, yeah.
And then, given that we had 35 minutes of pressure, they didn't create that many chances. And I think probably part of that is they lack a bit of quality.
Yeah.
But I also think, actually, you know...
Well, we've got, like I said, our defence is brilliant.
Yeah.
You know?
But also...
And while we might be giving it away and not being quite on our full game in midfield and in the wide areas, Doyle and our attacking options not being able to do what is required necessarily.
Yeah.
That back three, and then add in McMillan and defensive version of Niskanen.
Yep.
And you know, we are hard to score against. That's obvious, but like, you know, even under like we've had a lot this season of like recently of like when we're only 1-0 up and we've got to withstand a lot of pressure, sometimes for sustained periods, and we so far pretty much always manage it.
Yeah. Woods, Niskanen,
Definitely more often than not.
Ali, McMillan, Francis, even all playing their part in keeping
everybody.
the ball out.
Yeah.
So that got us to half time. And, you know, I felt nervous being under that amount of pressure. They could have scored. It would have been perfectly fair if they had scored.
Yeah.
With that kind of possession. They didn't. And then Colwell, in a moment of, I don't even know what you call it, but kind of proactivity, makes 2 subs at half time.
Yeah. When you're 1-0 up.
When you're 1-0 up. Now, if anyone was listening on the telly, as probably lots of you were, the co-commentator Dave Edwards was saying, wasn't he, you don't often get managers who make those changes at half time when you're winning. They usually give it 5, 10,
It's
15
not something
minutes.
that Colwell's done that I can particularly remember. You know?
No. In fact, previous times we've been asking him to make earlier changes. But on comes McGuinness for Cox. On comes Aitchison for Doyle. Especially given that Doyle scored.
Yeah.
I felt it was...
It's bald, isn't it?
I felt
Bold.
that...
Sorry, not bald. That's... Josh McGuinness is bald.
Yeah,
but...
he is. It felt that Niskanen, Cox, Ali... Not McMillan, but obviously it's a kind of a skewed formation anyway, isn't it? So McMillan doesn't go forward as often as Niskanen.
No, he's tucking in. It's kind of an inverted kind of affair, isn't it?
And Francis. No, sorry. And Doyle. They really couldn't hold on to the ball.
Yeah.
And Ali was the most useful at giving the defence a bit of breathing space.
Yeah.
But you were never
That's his
convinced.
kind of absolute kind of natural instinct is to do that, isn't it? You know, I'm not necessarily thinking, oh, Ali's, you know, deliberately stretching the play here to take the pressure off of the midfield. No. I just think he is single-minded in that I need to get up the pitch towards the goal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he isn't. I'm not saying he's not an intelligent player. I just mean that he's got one setting. A natural attacker.
Yeah.
So he's always looking to do that. And that, so yeah, even when he's not putting the ball in the net or particularly holding it up particularly well or, you know, or putting any crosses, his natural instinct to attack just has that effect on the rest of the team. But yeah, McGuinness and Aitchison are just more, they're robust, aren't they? They're tougher, they're more experienced. They're what we needed at the time, and Colwell recognised that. Yeah,
on they come.
Because you got there is, look at who you're bringing off, is Doyle, a young loanee who's barely played men's football, and Sonny Cox, who we were reminded the other day has only just turned 20.
Yep.
Because he's been around forever.
Yes, that's right. So that was a good change, and within, well, it felt like a difference straight away, but 20 minutes in. Yeah. We get the second.
We played some really good football.
Aitchison had a chance 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
Maybe 5.
Should have buried it. Should have hit the target.
Should have hit the target. Puts it wide. But Ali had some opportunities in the box. McGuinness was there. Yeah, it felt like this is much, much improved. Didn't feel the fear of concession at that point.
Real big change. We were the only team looking likely, weren't we, second half, from the kickoff.
And then 64 minutes. It's a ball across from... Who is it from?
Kramer's involved in the build-up
Kramer
to this
plays it
quite
forward,
a lot,
and
isn't
is
he?
it
He's
Ali that
bursting all
plays
the
the
way
cross?
forward. I can't remember. Maybe it was. If it was, it's his first ever assist.
Some suggestion of offside.
No offside.
Some suggestion of offside.
Yeah, but it's literally just not offside. I don't know if some people... I know it's a cliche. I don't know if some people know what offside is.
Maybe
Because
not.
he's behind the ball.
Yeah.
That's just it. It's as simple as that.
So he gets...
It's Acheson's assist, isn't
Is
it?
it?
I'm pretty sure.
The ball comes across and McGuinness is on the line, basically,
Yeah,
to
it's
put it away.
Acheson, yeah.
First goal for Exeter City in the league,
Yep.
in competitive football.
Scored a bunch in pre-season, didn't he? I mean,
Yeah.
we've come waiting for this goal. He's fulfilled his kind of duties really well so far.
Yeah.
In on the whole,
Yeah.
for what he's there to do, and it's good that he's got off the mark. I thought it was interesting Coldwell's post-match that they said that he'd actually played, that McGuinness had played more than they were expecting him to.
Yeah.
Because of the injuries to Cox and Jay Bird, which surprised me a bit because I was kind of just under the impression that he was the
main man.
and those two were kind of and that Sonny was the backup, and Jay Bird was a kind of
Future.
fringe kind of project kind of player.
Yeah.
But maybe that's not the case. But anyway, we've seen a bit of all three of those last night. So
Yeah. And anyway, at 2-0, it was all over, wasn't it?
big time. Yeah, we got a little sloppy even then, but we were so dogged.
Yeah.
And we're so good at defending our penalty area that it didn't really matter that we were a little sloppy with the passing.
No, indeed. So you're right, Jay Bird came on. Is that his first league appearance? I think it is.
It is. His only other one is in the
Bristol Street.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah. So it was...
He didn't do a huge amount, but the game was over by that point,
Well, it's
wasn't
just
it?
about
And
getting him on the pitch, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's about getting some actual proper minutes, and it's an interesting kind of exciting thing. We've got this other striker who none of us have really ever seen, and we're starting to see it now, and maybe we'll see a lot more of him. I don't know.
You're right about his shape and size. He's Nombe-esque, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's got that similar sort of stature, isn't he?
Yeah. So that was that, and we were very good value for another. The clean sheet was well deserved.
Whitworth, man of the match.
Well, he did really well.
Could have
didn't
given
he?
it to Kramer as well.
What we haven't talked about is Whitworth's bit of skill. Seen this?
Yes, unbelievable. I mean, it's great, isn't it?
If you haven't seen it, it's well worth looking up. Ball comes into him. It's passed back to him, isn't it? And attacker's really close to it.
Oh, it's like a
closing it
real
down.
kind of It's like a sprinted press, isn't it?
Yeah. And he takes it between his legs and knocks it to a right angle to his left hand side.
Well, it's like a Cruyff turn pass all in one kind of motion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Essentially,
argue with
kind of
that.
receives the ball and then passes it out behind him to his left.
Yeah. In one touch.
Look it up. It's unreal.
Yeah.
And that now makes him that's a record, isn't it? Is it a record for League One? That's the first time we've ever kept 5 clean sheets in a row at this level.
Not we, anyone.
Anyone?
Apparently.
No, club record, it said.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I could be wrong.
No, I bet you're right.
Because that's what I thought, and then I thought it said club record. But
Well, it's brilliant, whatever it is.
yeah, I mean, there was question marks, wasn't there, about Joe Whitworth after a couple of games, and he made a kind of one mistake that led to a goal, didn't he? And I think there was the game where we conceded late on, where there was about 100 corners in a row, wasn't there? But you can't argue with the stats that Sky put this graphic up of he's top of every conceivable metric for a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Saves against XG or whatever, preventing XG, clean sheets.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Yeah, you're right. It was club. 6 clean sheets is the club record in League One. So
5.
6.
Well, 6 is the 6th game isn't a league game
Oh, got ya.
because the 6th game ago was Blackpool when we lost.
Yes, right.
Because we've now won 4 out of the last 5 in the league.
Yep.
And there's another one in there if you count the Bristol Street Motors, and that's 4 wins, 1 draw,
Yeah.
0 goals conceded.
Bosh. So that puts us up to 4th in the league.
Yeah, we played more games than a couple of people, haven't we? But it's not that.
Well, we could, if everyone below us wins on Saturday or today or whatever, we'll go back down to 7th. Like, as in we're catchable by 4 teams.
Is everyone else playing on Saturday? Are they?
Yeah.
Right.
I think everyone else playing
It was
Saturday.
only us playing last night.
It was only us, and then there's a League 2 game this afternoon or something like that.
All right, cool.
Yeah, actually, it's only 3 teams that can catch us, so we could go back down to 7th. But what it, we were all like, oh, it's Birmingham City and it's Wrexham, and it is. They're top.
Mansfield, the other team up there, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they're a point ahead of us with a game in hand over us, so they'll overtake Wrexham if they win their game in hand.
Right.
They're on the same games as Birmingham. So yeah, Birmingham are top, played 9, 22 points. Wrexham are second, played 10, 20. Mansfield are third, played 9, 20. We're fourth, played 10, 19. Lincoln played 9, 18. Wickham played 9, 17. Stockport played 9, 16. Now, on one hand, you're like massive teams in, we keep saying there's massive teams in the league and we can't compete and all this stuff, lowest budget and all that stuff. On the other hand, obviously Birmingham, obviously Wrexham. The rest, these are mainly teams we play all the time. Like, I know Peterborough.
There's some of the teams that are, we're more familiar with from our League Two days.
Mansfield, yeah, Lincoln. You think like
Stockport are we're not even
overtaking us, haven't they?
yeah.
And you feel like, well, actually,
Yeah.
if we're being entirely pragmatic here, yes, you wouldn't expect Exeter City to push in this way, but actually, you look at just the bare facts of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm
perfectly reasonable.
I'm not totally apart from outside of obviously the difference with Wrexham and Birmingham, what's going on with there. I'm not totally sure about the kind of status of pretty much any other club in the league. But what I know about us is that that Colwell's been there for at this level a long time now, 100 games. He's kind of quite up there, isn't he, in the charts of how long? Because managers don't tend to stay that long,
Yeah, well, they either go up or they lose their job.
Well, we've got like this stability around the club.
Yep.
And we're also, because he's been there a while now, he's had like 4 or 5 transfer windows.
Yeah.
Perhaps 6 even.
No. This is his 3rd season, isn't it?
He got a January one, and then he got
summer,
and then another January, and then a summer. Okay, 4 transfer windows. So this is his squad now, very much so. And I don't know how many other clubs are in that position where they're so kind of like, we're all ready now, we're ready for action kind of thing.
There's
I don't
two,
imagine
aren't there? There's 2. Well, there's the top 2 who they've spent a lot of money. Then there's Bolton. He's been there for ages. It's not going very well.
They're having a terrible time.
And then there's I forgot exactly. Oh, Peterborough.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But if we got to the playoffs, I'm just like being completely like dreaming here. We're a quarter of the way through the season, basically. If we got to the playoffs and we were playing Peterborough and we were playing Bolton and we were playing, I don't know, Charlton and Stockport, you'd think like, oh, why not? Why not have a chance with that? You know what I mean? Like,
I do. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. I
getting
think,
way ahead of myself. I know that.
Yeah. But I think we're good enough to hold our own against any of the teams. If we're in there against Birmingham in the playoffs, for example, the smart money would tell you.
Yeah.
They've got these, really expensive, well-paid players who are playing below their level, probably because of the money. But yeah, I think you've got to give some credit at this point to the decision makers.
Yeah.
On the both boards, because
we were as vocal as anyone.
We were in there. And I think, to be honest, people were within their rights to say enough is enough when things were really bad.
Yeah.
Because that's how football is these days. So we're only reacting within kind of normal parameters of what football fans have generally been conditioned to expect, which is, not to be winless in 100 games or 100 days or however bad it was.
Yeah.
But obviously they've got a bit more information than us. They know him personally. They can see a lot more of what's going on behind the scenes and everything. And credit where it's due.
Do you remember
for doing it? Because it's not only is it kind of like, did it get turned around, but it's also it's put us in this position where we are very well equipped.
Yeah.
We have got this stability. We've got a guy who's now had 4 transfer windows, where if we had replaced him, we'd be starting again with a new guy, with a new project.
Yeah.
So they held their nerve they more than got away with it because of the end of our last season, and now we're reaping the rewards of that.
Yeah.
So you gotta hand it to him.
Do you remember when Nick Hawker made that video and said, "Oh, I go to the training ground every week," and we were all like, "Well."
Yeah, and they were
Yeah.
saying he never misses a board meeting and all this kind of stuff. And we were like, that's not important. It turns out
Tell you
it
it was
was important.
important.
All
Yeah.
these things. And like I said, that all this could go south as quick as it's,
Yep.
but
Well,
it seems unlikely to me. It just seems a lot more than last season. When if you'd looked at it objectively, you think, yeah, well, of course, that was a kind of false. That the early part of the season did definitely, in hindsight, look like it's clearly a false dawn.
Yep.
But this season, it just looks like, no, we're kind of there on merit, and what really could happen to scupper that? Quite a few things would have to happen, I think.
Yes.
And what's actually the case, we could pick up a big injury to someone, Ryan Woods, tomorrow, but was actually probably, just as likely, well, more likely, is we're going to get some really good players back from injury soon, and then they're going to be in contention to play as well. So, if anything, we're not even at full speed yet.
No, and there's rumours about Mitchell back for the Bristol Street Motors at the end of the month.
Really,
That's what Colwell said the aim is.
he said himself that, I think somewhere, that it's like November he's going to be back. He's going to be playing again. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much now. So
Yeah. Let's see. Well, more on all this in a second.
Dan, Pierce Sweeney here. Just want to wish you a happy 40th birthday, mate. Hope you have a fantastic day, fantastic weekend. All the best.
There you go, Pierce Sweeney.
slick.
He's,
Not his first birthday message, is it?
It's not. What's that thing? Does that still exist? Where you get celebrities to
Cameo.
cameo?
Yeah, very much so.
Is it?
Yeah. These aren't cameos. If
No?
you're listening to these birthday messages, these were arranged by my brother
Yeah.
and through Exeter City media.
Impresario.
Yeah. Scott.
Yeah, thank you, Scott.
And thanks to both of them too for sorting that out. Very nice surprise, and I liked it.
Very good. So it's another. Oh, it's just really annoying this week, isn't it? So it's a Thursday game. You've done that. Nothing on Saturday, and then Tuesday night, Reading.
Yeah. So because of Sky mainly, it's upset or everyone's schedules, including ours.
Yes.
So we didn't know when to do it. So we're doing this one now because that means by the time we do another one, it will kind of be a week before that in between podcasts kind of thing.
Yeah. So Reading have got to play Saturday, as of most of the other clubs.
Oh right, of course. And then we're playing Reading on Tuesday.
Yeah, and then there's a full fixture list on Tuesday.
Yes. And then at the weekend it will be FA Cup, but we'll do
No,
another one.
Huddersfield.
Oh yeah,
So
sorry.
we've got Reading at
Huddersfield.
home this Tuesday. Then
Yeah.
we've got Huddersfield away Saturday. Another long journey
Yeah.
for everyone. And then we got the week, and then it's Barnet. That's new news. We've been drawn against Barnet in the first round of the FA Cup.
Yes, I'm hoping that Edgar Davids will play,
Yeah.
wearing number 1
Yeah.
and basically not leaving the centre circle.
Do you remember him playing at St James Park?
Yeah.
Do you remember how awful his shot was?
Yeah, that was one of the few times he actually
the ball,
genuinely
yeah,
did
yeah.
leave the centre circle.
Yeah.
I think he got sent off he barely even played during that little stint as player manager, and he got sent off like a ridiculous amount of times, like 3 times or something.
I mean, it must be annoying, mustn't it, to be down in the doldrums after having reached the heights?
Yeah, but it wasn't the whole thing that he just loved living in London and wasn't quite ready to stop playing yet. So he was like, anyone, Barnet then.
Where had he played before?
Spurs? Is that Spurs?
Was he at
wasn't
Spurs?
Yeah.
Oh, no recollection of that at all.
He was there, all right.
Anyway.
Anyway, he won't be there.
No, so that's Barnet. So anyway,
that's ages away.
Before that, it's Reading,
Yes.
who aren't having the best of seasons on both levels. So club ownership's been an absolute nightmare for them.
Aren't they kind of... isn't there something to do with like the Chinese government going
Yeah.
on with them?
I don't really understand it
Their
at all.
stadium in a minute is going to be owned by the Chinese government.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. I don't get it. I can't.
Yeah, there's that, and then also they're not
They're
doing
not
well in
playing
the league
either.
either, right?
So they are down in 17th. They've got 14 points. So, on the kind of face of it, that's only a few points less than us, but they're not having the best of times. It's just sad, isn't it? Like, it's so true of most of the clubs in our league who used to be big. Just mismanagement to the point of insanity.
Yeah, I mean, the smart money's on us, innit? Judging on this season so far, although
They've won 2 of the last 5, but they've lost the rest.
I mean, and against
They got thumped by Bolton 5-2.
we've played them. Obviously, we only really played them last season because I guess and the season before, since we've been back in League One, basically.
Yeah.
So basically, we've played them 3 times twice in 2023 and once in 2024.
Right. Okay.
We won 1 and we've lost the last 2. But this is just different. We're a different proposition now.
It was New Year's Day, wasn't it? And it was dire.
It was New Year's Day.
Remember
that? I haven't even got the 3-2.
That's right.
That
We got
was
back
away.
into it and then they scored again.
Oh, of course. The other one I'm thinking of, the other one from that season, is when we lost 9-0 to them in the Football League Trophy.
Well, that was about a year ago, wasn't it?
It was 19th of September,
Right.
and then we beat them that season at home 2-1.
Right.
But that was right at the beginning, end of August, when we were still pretending to be good. And other than that, we haven't played them since the 90s. So, again, you look at the form, you look at everything. We're the the only thing you could say is we're probably a bit better away than we are at home.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it feels like, isn't it? I don't think the numbers actually match that, but it's Ruben Selles.
I think
charge.
they do. I think we've won like 10 out of 18 away games since the end of last year.
Oh, okay, including that. So anyway, their manager's Ruben Selles. Remember him? So he was at Southampton when they got relegated from the Premier
brother
League.
of Monica.
Yeah, probably, except they spell and pronounce their names differently.
That
Brother of
doesn't
Peter,
mean nothing.
of course.
Brother of Peter Sellers.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose mate is he? He's someone's big mate, isn't he? I can't remember.
What, Peter Sellers?
Peter Sellers was best mates with Kato, the Japanese man that would always jump out and karate chop him.
Yes.
I don't know if
They
Kato,
were best friends in real life as well.
I don't know if Kato karate chops Ruben
I always get
Sellers.
confused with Peter Sellers and what's the guy who plays Cleggy in Last of the Summer Wine called?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Isn't he also... What's his name? You mean Wallace and Gromit?
Yeah.
Isn't he called Peter Sellers as well?
That's Peter Salis.
Salis.
Yeah. Oh, it's fair enough then. I'm getting him confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's your favourite character from Last of the Summer Wine?
Well, Compo, obviously.
Yeah, he's got to be Compo.
But I do like the name Foggy Dewhurst.
It's hard to pick because they're all great.
Yeah. I'd like to see a...
Nora Batty.
I'd like to see it. What do you call it when you do a new thing, a new version of a thing? A redux?
A reboot.
A reboot. What's a redux? Don't know.
I don't want to see a reboot of that.
You
It'll
do?
be crap.
No, starring...
Remember when they tried to kind of reboot it because Compo had died, so
Compo's
they
son.
got his real life son to step in,
But
and it wasn't as good.
But wasn't Foggy Dewhurst a reboot of the old...
Yeah, Foggy wasn't an original member.
Foggy
no.
wasn't an
I
original.
can't remember what the original guy was called. If you know that, write in.
Please do. I got no idea. But wasn't... Well, you would like to see a reboot.
No, give me one
Paddy
example when it's worked.
Paddy McGuinness, Peter Kay,
I'm
and
so out.
Lenny Henry.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I don't want any of it.
Don't you?
No.
Okay.
It's like when they try and do like a new version of Only Fools and Horses or something, like
Have
the
they done
younger
that?
years, and it's crap. Leave it alone.
What about with starring strident socialists? Ken Livingstone, Jeremy Corbyn,
Yeah.
and
Mick Lynch.
Mick Lynch.
He's a bit southern. A lot of them are too southern to be in a reboot of Last of the Summer
and you
Wine.
need hills, because what else is your sofa going to roll down when you've put wheels on it?
Yeah.
You couldn't do it in the.
You can't. I think it'd be
Fens.
sacrilege to do a southern version of it. You know, I think it's an absolute northern kind of like institution.
Yeah, all right.
So think of some northern socialists and get back to me.
All right. Might be some time.
What about Dennis Skinner?
Dennis Skinner.
Is he northern?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beast of Bolsover. I mean,
He's-
Midlands, really.
Is he still alive, Dennis Skinner?
I think he died.
Did he?
Too furious.
He was furious. Maybe still is. We don't know if he's dead.
I'd imagine his fury carries on beyond the grave, still just wafting around somewhere,
Bound to be.
but around Bolsover. Anyway, how did we get onto the last of the summer wine?
Couldn't tell you.
Right. Reading, we've got to be looking to. We've had the gap. They haven't had the gap. They've got Crawley at the weekend. We've got the extra 2 days.
I think
They've got to travel.
I think McGuinness and Aitchison are going to start again.
Yeah.
I think that'll be the.
Yeah,
You know, I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that'll be the switch, and I think the rest will probably stay the same.
I think it's a young old Reading team as well. I think they've got no money. I think they've still got their academy. I think it's just lads.
Right.
So you want McGuinness to go and bully him, don't you?
Yeah. Absolutely. You want some experience in there.
It's interesting watching him on the telly. He's a right bully. He is.
McGuinness.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to play against
No,
him.
you would not.
Did you see that? There's a little. I haven't watched the whole thing yet, but they're doing these kind of longer form interviews with some of the players.
Oh no, I'm watching him.
And there's one with Sweeney, and they ask him who his roommate is, and he says, "Well, at the beginning of the season, I was just told that by Josh McGuinness that he was my new roommate."
Right.
And he said
Irish
he's
lads
just,
together.
And he said he's just he's just in there, kind of in the bathroom, screaming Pierce Sweeney chants just out of the blue, just kind of like, he's I think you can just tell that he's a big character, and to come in and kind of, so Pierce Sweeney, and to come in and kind of like eclipse someone like that, it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but
I mean, you don't get 100 caps for your national team by being a pushover,
a
do you?
shrinking violet. No, definitely not.
I don't imagine the Northern Irish team's full of, it's not for the faint-hearted, I'd imagine.
No, probably not. Yeah.
Bellowing at each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd like to see him have a good go at those Reading boys.
Yeah.
Another clean sheet, no doubt.
Yeah. And I think
2 goals from open play yesterday as well.
That's very true. Yeah. No free kicks or corners or anything there. McGuinness also, got that goal for Northern Ireland. Literally 2 days later, got the goal for City. We saw at the start of the season when he started scoring, he kept going.
Yep.
So, maybe the big bank goal is what's coming at the weekend. On Tuesday. So that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Nothing
absolutely
like it.
great. Yeah. I bet he shouts at us when he does score.
Yeah.
Just bellows at us.
Yeah.
Love
Good
it.
time.
Right, lovely stuff. So, think we're up to all the business, so we'll be back.
Anything else? What's been going on with the pizza twist? Did we get any feedback on that?
We've had one email from Jack, not our usual correspondent Jack, a new correspondent Jack, and he is less dismissive than we are.
Has he had one?
No, he'd like to try one.
Well, that's not really what we asked for. I mean, that's just...
No, but he offered to come up the bins with us. I've never tried a pizza twist, he says, but would personally like to. Which, of course, is the only way you can try pizza personally. You can't farm it out to anyone else, Jack.
Well, have at it.
But he says he'll come along with us to the bins at SJP. And fair play to Jack, he predicted Shrewsbury would be 2-0 to us.
Okay, so maybe his opinion...
Maybe we've got to listen to him.
Maybe we have, yeah. Maybe we need to give the pizza twists a chance. Maybe in a couple of years' time, it'll be like, I don't know, tortellini.
What's tortellini?
It's that pasta that's got stuff in it.
Oh, stuffed pasta.
There's other
Yeah.
versions, isn't there? But that's
ravioli being the famous kind.
But then people didn't really, basically pasta we didn't really have before the kind of 70s,
No.
did we? And then now you think of it as being one of the main foodstuffs. So maybe that's the same will happen with pizza twists, and people will go like, in the future we'll be going like, what do you mean you're having a round flat pizza? Why wouldn't you twist it up?
Sure, we might be wrong.
And everyone will kind of like, and then there'll be a whole range of supermarket Italian products with Julian Tagg's big red face on them.
Yes. Yes. In the shape
He'll be the new
in the shape
Dolmio
of the
man.
ravioli. They've done the ravioli crimping around his bonds.
Yeah, the name Julian Tagg will be synonymous
Yeah.
with all manner of Italian kind of, cuisine.
What's that advert? There's an advert for food, isn't it? And they say, don't say whatever the actual name of the thing is. Say, like, it's not this, but they say, like, don't say milkshake, say Nesquik.
I don't know.
Don't say pasta, say tag.
Don't say goodbye, say good journey.
Yeah, not the same.
That's from the film Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, love it. Starring Courtney Cox.
Yeah,
And Dolph
Lundgren.
Lundgren.
And don't know who else.
Anyway.
Rubbish. Oh,
maybe.
Who's that guy who played Skeletor? He's a kind of quite famous stage actor, isn't he?
Oh, I don't know. Can't remember.
Okay, don't matter.
Maybe we'll have to add this to our long list of things we've got to apologise to Nick Hawker for. We were wrong about Gary Colwell and we were wrong about pizza twists.
Is Hawker responsible, is he?
Don't
Ultimately?
know. No one's held their hands up. They're waiting to see which way public opinion goes.
Yeah, and then they'll either kind of take the credit or distance themselves from it.
Yeah.
Well, me, it was Tag, and then Tag were like, no, it wasn't anything to do with me, it's Hawker's idea.
Or Tag knows it's been a success and starts just wearing ravioli-shaped crimping around his actual head.
Yeah, or he twists himself up like a pizza twist, and you think, why are Julian Tagg's legs facing the wrong way? And you think, oh right, because of the success of twisting things that didn't used to be twisted.
Start calling himself Julian Twist.
Yeah.
Anyway, and his son Oliver. I think that's all our business. So are we going to be back after Reading or not till after Huddersfield?
I think after Huddersfield.
Okay, fine. Well, that'll be good.
Yeah.
We'll go there and we'll...
I don't know, actually.
Well, wait and see.
Yeah.
Wait and see. Much like the pizza twist, wait and see. Don't judge.
Yeah, don't judge the judge.
Don't judge the judge. Got the best name in the world, I'm the only judge.
Yeah.
On-car judge.
What have we done to the world? This is
an X Factor
no
reference.
one knows this. Yeah.
No.
If you're curious about what that was, just Google on-car judge X Factor.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Oh, hang on a minute. So we're going to leave you with the third
final.
and final, and some would say best player / well, I don't know. Yeah.
You're saying it.
Right. There's a final message here at the end from my favourite Exeter City player, probably of all time.
Thanks for listening, everyone. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you soon.
Hi Dan, just wishing you a happy 40th birthday. We'd like to say thanks for your support over the years, and from many of the ex-pros at Exeter, we really appreciate all your support over the years. Have a good night, mate. Cheers.